Gentlemen. Oh, no. We just talked about this. Hi, everybody. It's David Solomon here in La Belle Ville de Montréal, and my friend Stuart in the beautiful city of Miami or somewhere around that area. We are both sitting in hot spots in many more ways than one, and want to welcome you to another phenomenal week, another time where we are going to get together and rant about all the crazy shit that is in this world today. And when I mention hotspots and I'm talking about crazy world, I couldn't have picked a better place than, let's say, Taiwan. That's right. Taiwan is in the news. And when you think about it, we've been talking about China and Russia and North Korea and all these other things, but this little place called Taiwan suddenly is a hotspot. Suddenly the world is saying, huh? And Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, the third most powerful person in the United States, decided that it's time for her to go visit a bunch of South Asian countries. And one of the countries that was thrown in there was Taiwan. Stuart, did Nancy Pelosi cause a shitstorm or what?
Love her, hate her. She's an old bag from San Francisco who thinks rules are for you, not for her or her husband. The drunk that got caught, right? I hope that any of us have the same privilege that woman's got, being a multimillionaire working for Uncle Sam. That's great, working for the people. But you know what? Love her or hate her, is it a bad thing that Taiwan, is the Achilles heel for China, and that China allegedly threatened to shoot down a plane if she was in it and landed in Taiwan? America used to be the strong, the land of the free, home of the brave. And, I hope Nancy Pelosi is brave because, she's pussy willowing around, China. She's cow tipping, just like Biden does. Oh, no, no, no. You could do a little invasion, Putin. Is he going to ping, going, hey, you could do a little takeover of Taiwan? At the end of the day, sticks and stones can break my bones, but threats can never hurt me. Once upon a time, if you threaten the well-being of the President of the United States, you go to jail. Secret Service comes, puts you in handcuffs, and locks you away because you are not allowed to threaten the President of the United States. Well, clearly, we forgot about this during the entire Trump administration, and we still forgot about it during the Biden administration because they can walk around threaten presidents, death threats, chief justices, and just do nothing about it. The Department of Justice is an invertebrate today over these subjects, probably by direction of the people running the President of the United States, which is Joe Biden. Because clearly he is not capacitated enough to run or assemble his own government. Because half the time they have 14 or 15 people walking back every single press release, every single press conference that the man does. Now, however, Nancy Pelosi will only talk about things that she wants to talk about. People should ask her about her income. People should ask her about her husband's income. People should continue to drive this woman batty because you know what? If she gets voted out in the next couple of months, she's no longer Speaker of the House, and she might actually retire, which is great for the people like AOC. But at the end of the day, I want Nancy Pelosi to go to Taiwan. Why is she cow tipping to China? Is she a chicken shit? Is she afraid of China? You tell me, David. I've
Well,
been talking for
yeah.
4 minutes
Well,
straight how much of a
well.
pussy willow Pelosi is.
Okay.
PP, pussy willow,
So,
PWP, not
so
PWC,
there we go.
PWP.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Let's go back a step for just a second, and let's just remind everybody that
Oh, by
Nancy
the way,
Pelosi.
new hashtag, hashtag PWP, pussy willow Pelosi.
So this is not the first time Nancy Pelosi has gone on this kind of mission, and normally these kinds of missions have been to rattle a president. Back in 2007, pardon me, Nancy Pelosi went off to Syria to meet then President Assad. She was doing what she claims is her job, and she rattled the Bush administration. George Bush Jr. was the president. She rattled him badly. While Bush criticized her move as being wrong back in the day, Nancy Pelosi did what Nancy Pelosi wanted to do. The confusing part is today, Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden are theoretically on the same team. And now Nancy Pelosi gets on a plane, rattles the Chinese sabers by saying, I'm going to go visit Taiwan, which, by the way, no American official has been there since the late 90s because they're all afraid, which included, I'm sorry, the Trump administration, who didn't go, which included the Bush administration, the Obama administrations. They didn't go to Taiwan. It's been kind of like no, we're not going to go out there. Do you know that the world has been, Stuart, has Taiwan been to the Olympics? Yeah. As Taiwan? No, sir. They're not allowed to be under Taiwan. They're Chinese Taipei. They need to tell the entire world that Taiwan is part of China, even though Taiwan doesn't want to be part of China. Nancy Pelosi saying that she wanted to visit Taiwan and then getting President Xi to shit in his pants because all of a sudden we're going to legitimize an independent state. That just shows the lack of intestinal fortitude that has been going on in the United States for a few decades. Where have they been to get up and go to Taiwan, right? Where are they to go to Taiwan and to literally say to President Xi, we don't recognize China's authority on Taiwan? No, because they're afraid. And that is it. And what you just saw, what we've seen with Biden in Afghanistan, what we have seen with this administration in its Middle East trip, and now this, the whole world is now laughing at Biden. He didn't do it well, like we said, for 8 years with Obama. Obama showed how he had lacked intestinal fortitude. Trump was criticized as being too gruff. And now a lot of people are starting to go, maybe he had a point.
So let me just back up.
Hold on, Stuart. Let me finish this point, okay? The world is now looking at the United States and saying, we are now on our own. The so-called global leader of democracy, our savior, is no longer here to help us.
Okay, Stuart. So let me just fact check you back because there's some missteps here. In 2014, Alex Kazar went to China. He was the U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services.
Went to China or Taiwan? Sorry, you went to Taiwan. Okay, my apologies.
China, which had promised unspecified relations ahead of time, sent Air Force jets close to Taiwan while he was visiting. The next one was Memorial, September 17th and 19th. I guess it was last year. Keith Krosh, who's the U.S. Secretary of State for Economic Growth Energy, while low-key, as our trip, China once again sent fighter jets to closely hit the Taiwan border to their displeasure. And then finally, Kelly Craft did the same thing. He was neither United States or Taiwan given full details visit.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
Washington ambassador, United Nations. Taiwan is not a member of the United Nations. China says it's merely Chinese province, not a country, and has blocked its participation. So, at the end of the day, those are just the facts from Reuters.
Stuart, tell me the Secretary of Health is going and some other low-level secretaries is meaningless. When I'm saying the third most powerful person, you got the president, the VP, and then the Speaker of the House, and I'm talking about that kind of level of official going there. You're right. There have been others who've tried. But I'm talking about the top dogs. They're scared of China. They're prevented in the UN. They're prevented in the Olympics of being Taiwan. China continues to show the world it's emerging as a global superpower, while the U.S. is continuing to shrink in this, and that's the scary part.
Well, I mean, but you brought up Israel for a second, right? Donald Trump was the last president, which was May 2017. Barack Obama was there 2016. Hang on. And again was there 2013. Bush was there in 2008. Senior was there. Also, yeah.
What are you getting at? I'm talking. What is it?
Okay.
What I'm talking
Well,
about is
so
Biden.
Taiwan.
No, what I'm so
Why has no president ever been to Taiwan?
because they're scared of China.
Oh, wait a second. How many prime ministers of Canada visited Taiwan?
I have no idea. I think
I
it's same
think. I
thing.
think that's
Zero. I'll bet you it's zero. I'm willing to bet
right.
it's zero.
So let me ask you a question. We talked about in February about the military declaration of war that Russia did over ammonium nitrate.
Hmm.
Taiwan is the equivalent in the semiconductor industry that Russia and Ukraine is to ammonium nitrate. If you get rid of Taiwan and you just get everything done, you've blocked out, right, all the semiconductors. So now you have a worldwide shortage of stuff to grow stuff. Then you got a whole technological war. So let me ask you a question. Why is the United States, Canada, Great Britain, and all of the fucking Western world cow tipping to China? I mean,
Because you know
that's the
how it is,
bottom line.
Stuart. You know how it is, Stuart. It's the same reason why. Okay, but I'll give you the same example that's going on with Russia and the Ukraine. All right, you knew there was a war coming. You knew Russia was going to invade the Ukraine, and you sat back and did nothing. It's the
It was
same thing here. You do nothing.
Obama
There is no.
told.
There is no. The desire. Look, Americans, the Western world. Let's be realistic. Does it serve the United States' interest to stand up for Taiwan to that extent? Not really. Not really. Same
Well,
thing
what
with
South
Hong
Korea?
Kong.
Why did they
South,
stand up for South
oh
Korea?
no, South Korea is a little bit different because South Korea has a greater value to American, interests than Taiwan.
I don't know if
Okay,
that's true anymore. I think
There's
wait,
a tremendous listen. Pelosi's on her way to South Korea, and there's the whole defense with North Korea is a huge, huge deterrent. And I'm sorry, I think South Korea continues to have a has an importance to the United States because they've continued to add military power in there into South Korea. But Taiwan is China, and North Korea is like baby China, right? Same type of communist rule, same type of autocratic rule, but a lot more aggressive. And they don't, North Korea, China, Iran, and Russia. This foursome is a scary group. If they're allied, and they're sort of allied in some form or another, God help, God help them, right? God help what's going on. The United States interests, Western world interests, it's like Taiwan is like a symbol, but that's about it. And so for Pelosi to go there, the symbol would be, oh, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to go visit it. For China, that symbolism is, get the hell out of my way versus, I mean, like, think about it, versus South Korea. That if China was to try to invade South Korea, you'd have a world war. But if China went into Taiwan tomorrow, I do not believe the United States is going to do anything.
yeah, but David, but let me back up the facts. Taiwan is the richest amongst South Korea and North Korea, South Korea and Taiwan. Taiwan's GDP per capita is, according to the World Bank, is 59,000 higher than South Korea, Malta, or Spain, or even Slovenia. So
Okay, but
again, I mean,
I
you're
don't
talking
agree.
about wealth and
You're
money.
I didn't say wealth and money. I'm saying strategic
Well,
international
well, strategic,
importance.
but yeah,
No, it's
yeah,
not
but
about
that's
GDP only.
strategic
It's not
partnership.
only, I don't agree. It's not about GDP here. Taiwan has, what's the military interest for Taiwan? There really isn't. But the United States is sitting in South Korea. There are military troops in South Korea. There's a military alliance with South Korea. There is this gate to hell if North Korea invades. This has been around for 70 years since the war since North and South Korea. So sorry, buddy, I don't agree. Like, who cares about GDP? It's more important about strategic strategic alliances and strategic importance to the United States. I do not believe that Taiwan
Don't
is
agree with.
anywhere near that. Sorry.
All right. Well, David, on
But
that
the point
note,
is, but Stuart, but the point is that this whole rant is once again the Biden administration doesn't know what the left and the right are doing. And once again, the international community is sitting here going, oh my God, the bullies are going to win because I don't have anybody defending me like I used to. And that is scary.
You know what time that is, David?
Goodbye, Stuart. Tell everybody goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody, because David said